Hello everyone, today I want to talk about things that you need to do to pass the written that I wish I knew before I took it. So what we're going to get into today is how to pass your written test, and because it's a crucial part of getting your license, you have to pass the written test. So one thing I would say is practice the question banks. What I did is I would take a practice test every single day for about 2 months before I even took mine. Now, what you want to be doing is getting about 80 to 90% on these tests, and that should put you in a pretty good position to pass. Now, what I will say is, do not just memorize the questions. You have to know why the answer is what. You cannot just memorize them. You will be screwed if you just memorize the questions and answers, because they do change the wording a slight bit. Now, saying that, the practice tests do help if you don't just memorize the questions and you actually know why a question is a question, okay? So the next thing is actually learning the knowledge, because if you just take practice tests every day, first of all, you're just going to remember the questions. You're not going to learn anything. You have to learn. You have to know why, what is what, because on the oral, there's no memorizing the questions and answers, okay? So you need to know why, what is what. So some good services for this are King's School, Sporties, YouTube, if you want to go free, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot more, but I used King's School personally, and I really enjoyed their videos. Some people don't, though. They say it's too old-fashioned and boring. Me personally, I like the videos that they made, and I thought it was pretty good. Now, there's more options as well. You can read books, you can listen to audiobooks. There's lots of different options, okay? So I would say learn the knowledge. If you're willing to pay money, King's, Sporties, those kind of services. If you don't want to pay money, there's plenty of options on YouTube that are free. Now, it's probably not going to be as structured as those paid programs, but it will still be good and you will do fine. So that's my recommendation, is that you need to learn the knowledge, first of all. Don't just remember things. The next thing we're going to get into is practice every single day. If you're in class, if you're just thinking, just think of acronyms. Think of just stuff to remember. That will help you a lot. Just retain that information, okay? And along with that, plus taking the practice test. Now, another thing on the practice test is if you do the one that I was on, which is I used King's for my videos and stuff, Sporties for the practice test. And what I will say is on Sporties, if you get one wrong, it'll explain to you why it's wrong. Now, their explanations are not always the best, but they do work very well, and that will help you. So another thing is that I would say is when you're doing your practice test, look up the answers. This is going to sound crazy. Look up the answers. It will help. If you are on a practice test and you're not sure, don't just guess. Look up the answer and you'll remember that. You'll remember that next time. You're like, okay, I remember this. Now, as I said, don't just remember, know why. But for some of the questions that are more memory-based, 100%, just look up the answer. Now, next is what you want to study. So you want to study weather, METARs, TAFs, like all the weather charts. You want to know what the types of clouds are, what everything means. And now that goes into more stuff on like King's School and stuff. You need to understand performance charts. You need to understand which runways to use, like just practical information. It's the written test. You just need to know practical information. Now there's some, like you need to know weight and balance. You need to know how to plan a cross-country flight. You need to know the effects of forward and aft CG. But if you do these things, you will be in a good spot to pass. So study, study, study is all I have to say. Commit to it. Don't half-ass it, okay? Don't do that, because if you half do it, why are you even doing it? Just do it, okay? Go hard. Grind it out, because if you do that, you will pass. You have the determination to study every single day, take a practice test every single day. Instead of watching YouTube videos on stupid stuff like Mr. Beast, study. You're going to pass. I'm just going to tell you that right now. If you put everything you have into it, you will pass. But it takes a different kind of person to put everything they have into it, you know? If you want it badly enough, you will put everything you have into it. So let's get to the next section. All right, now let's talk about what to do on test day to make sure you pass. Okay, so on test day, you want to Get a good night's rest the night before, 100%. Don't be tired and sluggish when you go in there. Bring the right equipment. So what you need is, really, they might probably have everything for you, but if you want to use your own stuff, what I had is I had the electrical E6B. Did I use it? For my test personally, I never had a question where I needed to use it, but I know they switch up the answers and there is questions where you need it. So I would take an E6B or digital E6B, a plotter for the cross-country planning. They'll have pencils and stuff there, but if you want to use your own, bring that. And that's about it. So they're gonna have a lot of the stuff provided for you. At the spot I went to, they had earplugs and stuff if you needed them. Another thing I would say is pick the right facility to do it at, because I personally went to one and the guy was 30 minutes late. It was a dirty facility, and he just left mid-test, and I was sitting there for 2 hours. Like, where's this guy? I was calling him. I didn't know where he was. And there was cats jumping on me, so I would definitely say pick a good facility and do your research about it, because there's gonna be reviews on these places, and pick a good one. I just picked this one because it was the closest and it worked out for me, but I would say if I had to do it again, I wouldn't go there. So that's one thing I'll say. Other than that, that's how you can pass your written. Now, if you guys want ground lessons, put it in the comments what you need to learn and I can help you. I'm learning myself still, so some things, if you put it in the comments, I will do a deep dive into it and learn it. But practical written test information, I pretty much know all of it. I'm not saying I know all of it, but I know a good chunk of it. So if you guys need help with anything, put it in the comments and I'll make individual videos for every single comment I get on stuff. Okay, so that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.